Hello everyone and welcome to a new video dedicated to our beloved Snoopy and the world of Peanuts. Today we are going to talk about one of the most iconic characters of the Peanuts, Lucy Van Pelt. When you think of the Peanuts, it is hard not to think of her. The girl with a strong character, always ready to speak her mind and throw acid jokes. But behind this self-confident and sometimes aggressive behavior hides a character much more complex than she appears. Today we will find out together who Lucy Van Pelt really is, what she represents, and what impact she has had on Charles Schulz's comics and popular culture. Lucy is one of the most multifaceted and interesting characters in the Peanuts. She is not only Linus's older sister, but also a central figure in the social dynamics of the group. With her superior attitude, her passion for music, and her impromptu psychotherapy, Lucy has had a huge impact in comic book history. Let's not forget that Lucy makes her first appearance on March 3rd, 1952, when she appears skipping rope with Linus. Right away, her strong character emerges clearly. Yet despite her authoritarian and sometimes prickly demeanor, there is much more behind her facade of indifference. Today we will see how Lucy interacts with the other characters, how she has changed over the years, and what message she has left us. Lucy Van Pelt's first appearance in the Peanuts occurred on March 3rd, 1952, in a strip in which we see her with Charlie Brown jumping rope. Right away, her strong and determined character emerges. Although in this early strip she appears as a character who interacts simply with others, it is clear that we are dealing with a girl who is not afraid to stand out. An interesting aspect of this early version of Lucy is that, initially, she has circles around her eyes, a distinctive feature that Charles Schulz later removes. This change is not just aesthetic, it is symbolic of how Lucy's character would evolve over time, becoming simpler and more instantly recognizable. In that 1952 strip, Lucy is not yet the prickly authority figure we will see later, but we already glimpse traces of her assertive character. It will be later developments in the strips that will make clear her pivotal role in the world of the Peanuts, but from this first appearance, it is clear that Lucy is not destined to go unnoticed. Lucy Van Pelt is undoubtedly one of the boldest and most complex characters in the world of Peanuts. With her confidence and swaggering attitude, Lucy immediately stands out. She is not afraid to voice her opinion and has no qualms about saying exactly what she thinks, often sarcastically. One of the most well-known aspects of her character is her position as a self-proclaimed psychologist, offering advice to her friends, but in a rather authoritarian manner. Her most famous phrase, "For 5 cents I'll diagnose you everything," is a clear example of how competent she considers herself in the field of soul care, even though she is obviously not a true expert. This aspect of Lucy, unfortunately, often leads her to come across as intrusive, such as when she tries to cure Charlie Brown's problems even though she is not at all interested in his welfare. At times, it seems that Lucy acts more out of pure personal satisfaction than out of any real desire to help others. But despite her edgy behavior, behind this toughness lies a vulnerability that we will explore later. One of the most interesting things about Lucy is how she relates to the other Peanuts characters. If her interaction with Charlie Brown is often confrontational, her interaction with her little brother Linus is very different and shows us a more protective dimension. Lucy, while being very bossy toward Linus, does not hesitate to defend him, especially when someone teases his famous blanket. This softer, more affectionate side of Lucy is not always visible, but it is present nonetheless. Lucy's relationship with Schroeder, on the other hand, is one of the funniest and most complex dynamics in the series. Lucy is deeply in love with him, but Schroeder is completely indifferent, devoting all his time and energy to Beethoven's music. Despite all Lucy's attempts to win him over, the young pianist never relents. This creates one of the most recurring comic situations in Peanuts: the determination of Lucy, who never accepts being rejected, and the total indifference of Schroeder. Lucy, even in her stubbornness, cannot help but remain vulnerable and disappointed by this situation, showing her humanity, albeit in a way that seems ridiculous. And then there is her relationship with Charlie Brown. Lucy has never been a particularly affectionate figure toward him. On the contrary, she is often Charlie Brown's antagonist, dealing with his taunts, challenges, and arrogance. But, oddly enough, this adversarial relationship is also what defines both characters. Lucy, with her domineering behavior, and Charlie Brown, with his constant search for approval and acceptance. The interaction between these two characters is a key element of Peanuts, making them eternal. Over the years, Lucy has become a symbolic figure, not only within the Peanuts, but also in popular culture. Her strong personality and often relentless behavior have made her an icon of feminism. Lucy is not afraid to take control of situations, even when others, like Charlie Brown, find her too intrusive or irritating. She does not need to please anyone and is not afraid to express what she thinks. This independence has made her a role model for many people who appreciate her sincerity and strength. However, it is important to note that Lucy is not just a figure of strength. Her vulnerability, especially in emotional and family relationships, is something that makes her more human and understandable. Indeed, many of her attempts to win over Schroeder or to cure Charlie Brown are expressions of her desire to be seen and accepted for who she is. Despite her gruff and assertive character, Lucy is a girl who, at heart, seeks love and understanding. Over the years, Lucy has undergone an evolution that has been more subtle than other characters, but no less significant. While maintaining her strong attitude and dominant character, Lucy has also become more complex. She is no longer just the mean girl who provokes Charlie Brown or rejects Schroeder, but a figure who makes us reflect on the meaning of relationships, love, and personal growth. Despite her apparent toughness, Lucy is ultimately a character who shows us how we can all be vulnerable and strong at the same time. Lucy Van Pelt is one of the Peanuts' most fascinating and complex characters. Her strength, irreverent attitude, and determination to stand up for herself make her a symbol of independence. But she is also a girl who, behind the facade of toughness, has a heart full of emotions and desires. Her impact on the Peanuts and popular culture is enormous, and her legacy lives on in the comics and stories that tell of her unique figure. What about you? What do you think of Lucy? Do you like her as a character, or do you find her too irritating? Leave us a comment below.
If you enjoyed yourself, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and activate the little bell to stay updated, and see you next, friends.